So I've drawn these two lines here now, basically kind of represent your posture or your spine angle over the golf ball. Okay, and what we're going to try and do really when using a golf club is rotate around that blue line, maintaining that angle as the club kind of sort of works up here and then back down to the golf ball. If we look at the left-hand one now as you go back, club face we said was aiming left to start with. As you went back now, very much sort of stood up with your spine angle now. Club face, we can see your left wrist starting to kind of, we call bow, like a little bow and arrow kind of thing. Club face now is what we call a very closed position. Long backswing there, and you're basically in a vertical stance. You sort of stood up from the golf ball. So you've gone from there to there. So you've increased your spine angle a good 30 degrees maybe. So therefore, to get back to the golf ball, you've now got to start dropping quite a lot. When you start dropping this, it sort of throws the club back over the top in front of you, which with a closed club face, if we're not careful, is going to send the ball way to the left, as we can see. And as a reasonable strike, it wasn't a lot of power there. Ball's going to go straight left, as you can see on the camera. It's going straight left there and going towards that left-hand 100, okay? What we're trying to do now is rotate around that spine angle in posture. So you've stood up a little bit, but not quite as much, and your left arm on the club now a little bit more in line, okay? In an ideal world, if you were tilted over a little bit more down here with your head and your spine, and more that way, your left arm would be a bit higher up. By standing up with your body, you've kind of just done this, and your left arm gets level. If we can get down here and try and almost like you're sort of throwing your hands up above your right shoulder while keeping your chest and your body pointing down to the ground, okay? If we do this and stand up, I've now moved off the golf ball, I've then got to try to get down to reach it. If you try to get down, chances are you're going to be inconsistent in that move. And you strike it well, it's a lovely golf shot, so the fact you have an ability to hit the golf ball is great. However, from a consistency standpoint, it's going to be a bit exactly there. So I maintain that posture better as the club comes back down to the golf ball. We can get a nice strike on that ball now. You can see swinging more towards target. Ball now flying nice up towards the screen there in a straight line going down the range, okay? Just getting that L position which we talked about, okay? You're doing that a lot better. That's hinging there. If I'm honest, the left arm is still a little bit more of the hinge rather than the wrists, which is why when you get here, the wrists then tend to do a bit of this, okay? If we can get the wrists hinging better, this left arm won't need to bend, because if you hinge your wrist and then bend your arm, you put yourself in the face with a pen. So if you're doing that with a pen, as you said, if you're doing this, okay, if you hinge your wrist correctly and then you bend your arm, you're going to hit yourself there. So what happens if you go back and the elbow does the work, your wrists now are kind of staying still quite stiff and flat, and then when they do bend, they bend this. So with that bowing, as we said, caused the club to get in a very left position. When you come back to the golf ball, the club's aiming over there. So then the golf ball, even on a good strike, it's going to go way left on you, okay? So hinge is certainly better. I think there's a feeling now for the arm, just trying to get the sensation you're swinging these hands sort of up and in over your right shoulder that way as you go back, rather sort of lifting up and sending off to the right there, okay? So lift the arms in and up, get them over your right shoulder a bit higher. You can see where your shoulder is there. Your hands are a bit sort of to the side of that rather than up above. As I said though, if your spine angle went from there and was a little bit more where it started, your arm therefore would move up with that, wouldn't it? Because the fact you stood up, as we said, if I'm here and stand up, my arm gets lower. You're not likely to sort of go and do that. When your spine angle comes up, your arms adjust with it. Okay, so we can get the body working better, get the arms working up over that right shoulder here, we can now get the club coming down, 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 and with a square club face, the ball gets straighter. That kind of makes sense, then, yeah?
Yeah, it's more rotational movement.
Precisely, yeah. So if you think about, exactly. If you think about the golf club, if this is your spine angle at address, sort of a 45-degree angle to the ground, your spine is doing this rather than that with a twist in it as well. If you're trying to judge that and that plus that and that is going to be, ugh. You'll get it right sometimes, but what it will do is it will take you to it 20, 15 shots on a driving range and eventually figure out where I am and then hit some good shots, but it's taking you 10 shots to find that. On a golf course, the luck is only one shot. You haven't got that sort of chance to go up and down and round and round to do that. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool, okay.